What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now imagine, if you will, you have a brand new NFL Blitz cabinet from Arcade1up and you decide, because of some sort of misplaced sense of generosity, to share one of your 49-way joysticks with a friend. Let's say that that friend's name is, oh, I don't know, B Kong, and you're really jonesing for some of that 4-player action. So what can you do? Can you swap in a Sanwa 8-way and away you go? Or maybe your particular scenario really isn't that elaborate at all. Maybe one of your 49-way joysticks breaks in the future. Can you swap in a standard Sanwa and play that way? Well, I'm asking the question, but I'm also going to answer the question in this video right now. Now, whether you like this cabinet or not, Arcade1up has taken a pretty big step forward in replicating that arcade experience with this 49-way joystick. But what happens if you need to replace one? The amount of parts on Arcade1up's website is pretty abysmal, and a suitable replacement is probably not going to be made by another manufacturer for some time. But what if we just swapped in a Sanwa? Let's do that and see what happens. And this project is going to begin like you would expect, by removing the control panel from the cabinet. So let's go ahead and take out the 4 screws that secure it to the side panels, and then disconnect the 2 cables that connect to the PCB. So to do this work, I'm going to go ahead and place my control panel upside down on a couple pieces of styrofoam, and then remove all the fasteners that hold the bottom of the control deck to the top. A closer look at this 49-way joystick will reveal that there are no physical switches and there's no direct contact between the stick and the PCB. There's some kind of science going on there. I don't know what it is, but I like it. But is this technology going to come at a cost? Are we basically going to be dealing with analog versus digital, something that's not going to be easily replicated? Well, there's only one way to know. Let's get this thing mounted, plugged in, and check it out. Well, it doesn't take long to run into our first issue, and it's going to be fitment. The whole pattern is a little bit different, which is no big deal, but the physical bracket on the Sanwa is hitting the start button, so it's not going to allow me to place this in the center of the control panel hole, so that's going to be an issue. But I'm not going to let these fitment issues slow me down, so let's grab our 5-pin plug-and-play joystick harness that's compatible with Sanwa-style joysticks that I picked up from DIY Retro Arcade to get this thing plugged in and just test if the Sanwa is even going to register, or send a signal that the PCB is even going to know what to do with. So we're going to mock this thing up by placing just the very top of the control deck back on the cabinet. Just put a couple screws in to kind of keep that in place. You can see I've got the wiring harness sticking out of the joystick hole, and I thought this would be a good time to swap out the 4-way gate with an 8-way. Now, I don't want the bottom of the Sanwa scratching up my brand new deck protector, so we're going to go ahead and put a microfiber cloth down, plug this thing in, and give it a shot.
All up to 5.
Well, I will admit that was a long way of saying no, but I thought it would be fun to kind of go through the exercise and see what I had to do to actually test this out. Now, I was curious about something on the wiring harness. It looks like the stock wiring harness for the 49-way, the ground is in a different place than the standard Sanwa. So I thought, well, maybe if I pull that wire and swap the two, then that would make it magically work. But that's really not the case. If that was the case, and the ground was simply swapped with one of the other 4 leads, then the joystick would have worked in one of the directions. But I got nothing out of either any of the 4. So anyway, that's the way it is. Unfortunately, we're going to be kind of stuck with this 49-way unless somebody can come up with maybe a different wiring harness or a suitable replacement. I'm afraid that we're not going to be dealing with digital. This is going to be more of an analog signal. Hey, thanks for stopping by and checking out the channel. Y'all have a blessed day, and I will see you next time.